SHW pre-show.
SHW, this is our wrestling.
Hey, you think you could walk all over me, but I don't see that happening. We're warriors who strike terror into the hearts of others without warning.
And now, the voices of Southern Honor Wrestling.
Brandon Benefield, Gerard Bonner, and Diana Michelle.
Fight our way to
Okay, folks, we are live here at the Action Building for SHW68. This is your pre-show. I'm B-Double Brandon Benefield. This is GB Gerard Bonner, and of course, the lovely Diana Michelle. Hey, you know what? Before we really get into it, I just want to shout out a former Southern Honor champion and a former Southern Honor alumni, David Ali, Heather Monroe. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
They tied the knot yesterday.
Mr. and Mrs. Ali.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Just wanna send some love to them.
I mean, if we're throwing congratulations out, can we offer congratulations to a Southern Honor alumnus, Sean Legacy,
Please.
There you
who is
go.
the latest prospect for WWE ID. We keep trying to tell you
telling
guys,
you.
this is why you got to hang out with us at Southern Honor, because the people that you see here are guaranteed to be on somebody's television very, very soon. So congratulations
Yes.
to the Galaxy's last hero, right?
Only hero.
Only hero. How
There
about
you go.
that?
Yeah,
He's the only
fantastic.
hero. And I'm
Awesome.
not one bit surprised about that
Not
one.
surprised at all.
Not at all. Well, hey, you know what? Are you guys ready for SHW68? We're coming off of a big anniversary. We're coming off of a big benefit show, and we're
Yeah.
starting out year
Yes.
7 right here tonight.
Yes. November is starting off with a bang. We have 3 huge title matches tonight. We have the Infantry are in the house
They are.
once again to defend their tag team titles, and we got Joe Black for his third defending.
Which is
that
crazy
right?
if you think
Yeah.
about that.
He just
In
won it.
like a month.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
fighting champion, okay?
Yeah.
Fighting champion. And then you got Kyle Matthews defending his Jake the Snake Legacy title against CT Keys tonight.
Yeah.
That's going to be a hard one. Y'all, I'm not nervous.
No, but she's
I am-
singing.
But I am singing because
singing.
I'm excited about that one.
It's going to be a great night. It's very interesting to me because it feels like Still Here 6 closed one chapter
Yeah. Yep.
and started a brand new one that we got a little sneak peek of at SHW67 as we fought for the children.
Yeah.
But here we are now, a full look at what this new page of Southern Honor is going to look like. And we get a very, very strong look here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely incredible. You talked about those big title matches coming up. Our main event's going to be an insane Canton street fight, a feud that's been brewing for, 3 years at this point?
Yeah.
Too long.
Exotic Youth, the management from Southern Honor Wrestling, everybody from Southern Honor Wrestling, really,
Everybody.
Yeah.
and EY. So big Canton
Literally
street
all
fight.
of Canton.
Yeah, and that's going to be our main event here tonight. We're going to talk about that here in just a little bit. But we found out earlier today that kicking off the show will be Joe Black, who you mentioned, with his third title defense, kicking off the show against
wild.
Jackson Drake. These two know each other very well. And Jackson Drake was here a couple of months ago where he had a
was.
hard-fought match against the Kenway.
Kenway.
Yes.
But it was interesting, and even Jackson Drake mentioned it in his promo that he sent in. It seemed like Joe was paying a little attention to him.
A little?
Yeah, maybe
more like a
of attention.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the eyes, all eyes were on Jackson Drake that night.
Yeah.
And for us, it was our first time really getting to see him in ring. An amazing pedigree, great resume, showed us why he belonged in Southern Honor, but also showed us why Joe Black was paying so much attention to him. This guy is very, very special, and he decided at SHW 67 to call his shot and say, hey, I saw you looking at me, now I'm looking at you, and I want your championship tonight to kick off the show. I can't even believe we're saying this. The SHW Championship, Jackson Drake gets his first opportunity against Joe Black.
Y'all, he was impressive against
Extremely.
Kenway. He was impressive. I mean, he held no punches. It was almost, and we've said it before, when you have brother-like teammates or people who know each other so well when they're fighting, and it's like, you always hit your brother or your sibling harder or somebody that's close to you harder because, they can take it and you're going to get back, all in good graces. But that's kind of like what this seemed like to me when he was fighting the Kenway. Now, this one with Joe, I mean, not too many people have the
intestinal fortitude.
That part. To call out Joe Black.
Yes.
And he's now our champion, and rightfully so. Good God Almighty,
Yeah.
about time for that.
Yeah.
And I don't see him losing this title tonight. I don't care. I don't see him losing this title tonight.
We've waited 4 years
Yes.
for Joe Black to get back into the space that he belonged.
Yeah.
4 years ago, he defended the championship only once
Yeah.
because he was out on injury shortly
Yeah.
after and had to relinquish the championship. So I feel like now we're getting the title reign we've always wanted to
Yes.
see.
Yes.
The challenge to me, though, is if you remember back at Still Here, Joe put his career on the line.
did.
He was literally talking about this could be the last hurrah. So I'm not sure how you adjust yourself from saying, I'm about to call it quits to, I'm about to have the title reign of my life.
Yeah.
And now the question is, can Jackson Drake take advantage of those moments that Joe Black was thinking about and perhaps catch Joe Black slipping on a banana peel, if you can imagine that? Can you imagine the headlines as we kick off this show tonight? Jackson Drake, the new Southern Honor champion?
It would turn heads all over the place, all
better
over
believe
independent
it.
wrestling. And I tell you what, yeah, you're right, GB. Joe Black was that close to being done.
Done.
And now I feel like we're in extra innings. We get extra innings of Joe Black, and now he's
Yeah.
going to make every single appearance very, very special. Every single match
Yes.
very, very special. And so far, he's 2-0
Yes.
since holding that title, and we'll
right.
see with the third defense here tonight. And,
Yes.
and to your point, yeah, he sent the video in, Jackson Drake did, calling out Joe Black. And I'll tell you this right now, I found out after the show, Joe Black, as soon as he left the ring, got right on the phone with Jake the Snake Roberts and said, because that was it.
Yeah.
Jackson Drake wasn't necessarily saying, hey, give me a title shot, give me a title shot. Joe said, I will put my title on the line.
Yeah.
You're going to call
I'll give it
me
to you.
out?
Yeah.
I'm calling the Snake
Let's
Man,
go.
and I'm making this official. And Jake the Snake made it official, and it's going to kick off the show. Can you believe that? Kicking off the show?
Here's the thing. If you're Joe
Man.
Black, if you put your career on the line and you defeated the longest reigning Southern Honor champion in history, you've got nothing else to lose.
Yeah.
And so he's glad to put his title on the line. I think he wants to show people why he should have been champion and had a lengthy reign 4 years ago. And now we're getting, I mean, think about this. He's already successfully defended the title in 28 days,
Yeah. Yep.
more than he did his entire reign
Yeah.
the first time 4 years ago.
And if you think about it, not the reason, but one of the reasons Jedias was our longest reigning champion is because he wasn't here every show.
And Joe mentioned that. Joe called him out on it.
Joe
He wasn't
did.
here every
Yeah.
show.
Joe
Now,
did.
I expect Joe, as usual, to be here.
Yeah.
And that's what our champion needs to do. And every time he's here, I feel like he's going to defend. I don't feel like he's just going to sit one out because he can. But
Yeah.
For sure.
you know, he's going to be the champion we need.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. We've got 7 huge matches lined up on this card. That's kicking off the show. I mean, talk about setting a tone.
Yeah,
Right,
that's kicking
right.
it off.
Everybody else has to follow that.
Good luck.
Good
I
luck,
wouldn't want
everybody
to.
else.
Good
Who's
luck.
match number 2? Let's see who's got the heat on them.
I tell you
Right.
what, and I don't know the match order exactly. We know which match is going to be number 1. We also know which match is going to be the main event, that Canton
Right.
Street fight. So
Right.
we'll talk about that here at the end of the pre-show.
Yeah.
But talk about somebody who could possibly follow it. Let's talk about the Jake the Snake Legacy Championship
Yeah.
match, a first ever singles matchup between Kyle Matthews and the new number 1 contender, CT Keys. You got the power versus the technical ability. This one is going to be special. I can't wait.
I don't know what to think about it because it's 2 different styles.
Absolutely.
It's 2 different styles. I mean, what do you do?
As they
You
say,
just sit back
GB,
and watch.
styles.
Styles make fights.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
It is. I couldn't be happier that Kyle is our Jake the Snake Legacy champion. Period. The way he got it, perfection.
Yes.
Loved it. Loved it. This CT Nick Halen battle that we had
Wow.
was crazy.
Brutal.
CT, whew, he wanted this.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to come in and show why he wanted it.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's going to come away with it, but I don't know that he's not. It's just a thing. But I am interested in seeing this, and this is going to be a good one.
You're
This is
talking
gonna be a
about
good one.
2 guys who have been winning and
Yes.
just winning and winning and winning. And they've been doing it in very impressive fashion.
Yes.
And so, you think about all that Kyle Matthews went through to finally become the Jake. He's been chasing that title for a year.
Yes.
It was still here 5 when he got his first shot at that title in a scramble match.
Yeah.
And all of this time it's taken for him to finally get a fair shake. Took a 2 out of 3 falls match, finally got the win over Hunter James.
Finally.
And then, of course, you're talking about first-time ever matches.
Yeah.
Just 2 weeks ago at SHW67, a first-time match that everybody's still talking about. Kyle Matthews, QT Marshall.
Man,
What a match that was.
watch that one back.
So, Booker T often says that when you become a champion, you become 30% better. It's scary to think of Kyle Matthews 30% better than he already is.
Right.
And now he's got these first-time ever matches that happens. But CT Keys is a problem.
Yes, he is.
If you'll remember, it was a year ago at this very show where CT Keys went viral. And
Yes.
he still hasn't lived that down. And he's had that same level of violence that he has brought to every match. Think about what he did to Nick Halen last month. I mean, we're still reeling from that. I don't know what's going to happen here, if it's going to be the technical prowess that'll win or if it's just a straight raw power of CT Keys that could bring us a brand new champion tonight.
Either way, it's going to be an amazing match.
It is going
Either
to be
way.
amazing.
It's going to be great, and it's hard to pick, man. It's, both of these guys, as you mentioned, and the fans have really taken to CT as well.
Yeah.
Sure.
Even though if they might not like the end game, but man, do they love CT
and
Keys.
so that's a great question. What is the relationship between
Yeah.
CT Keys
Right.
and the end game at this
Right.
point? It seemed
What is the
very,
end
very.
game at this point?
What
Yeah.
is the end game? They have no gold. I don't know that Judias is here. We'll talk about Nick Halen being here.
I'm bringing that up next, but yeah.
I can't imagine Nick Halen suddenly being in the corner of CT Keys after that brutal battle.
And after taking that number one contender spot.
He took the number one
Yeah.
contender spot. They didn't really willingly shake hands at
Right.
the end of this.
Right.
So there's a lot. I wonder now, does CT Keys go into this with the full support of the end game, or is he a lone
Will
wolf
Todd
right
be
now?
here with him?
It's another great question.
It's a good question. Well, we mentioned Nick Halen. Let's talk about his match. We know he's going to be in singles action here tonight against young up-and-comer Ron Dallas, making his return. Now, he made his debut a couple months back in a winning effort against Sal Renaro.
Yes.
And impressed a lot of people, turned a lot of heads. And
Sure did.
tonight could do the same thing here if he can get a win over Nick Halen. Now, a lot of people are looking at that going, well, Nick Halen's got to be the favorite in this thing, being a former co-wrestler of the year, being a former technical wrestler of the year, all that good stuff, all the accolades. And then you got Ron, Aaron Dallas, the young upstart. But you know what? Stranger things have happened. And like you said, where is Nick Halen's head at coming off of the loss to CT at the last show? So we'll see. What are we thinking about this one?
Well, I don't know that Nick would actually be the favorite. He's definitely the veteran. So he's expected.
He's not Diana's favorite. I'm pretty sure to
Well,
most people.
I mean, get
he's
my
the
name
favorite.
right. That's not hard.
And ours too, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, get my name right.
For that matter.
It's right here under my name. Right here. It's under my picture, I mean, get it right. But, I mean, he's the veteran, so he's expected to perform at a certain level, right? Right. Then you got Ron, who's so much fun. The fans really took to him, the Southern Honor. His
They did.
first
The
day
blue-
out,
the blue-collar rock star.
They loved him.
Yeah.
And they loved him against Sal, which was surprising because, Sal is everybody's pal. We all love Sal. But I was impressed with Mr. Dallas. I thought he did very well against Sal, and that's saying a lot. Sal, Sal's the vet.
Yeah.
He's the vet. But as far as Nick tonight, I just think it's going to be either, the vet showing the young buck what to do, how to do, or young buck just surprising him altogether.
I think a lot of this is going to come down to the mental space and the emotional space of the vet, Nick Halen.
Right.
Because if you think about this, Nick Halen really thought, number one, he was going to get a shot at the championship going back to that scramble right before Still Here in SHW68. That's the reason why he eliminated his partner, his brother, CT Keys. When that didn't work, he figured, okay, I'll be the number one contender for the Jake the Snake Legacy Championship. That didn't work. So championship aspirations have not worked for Nick Halen. And he's got to be thinking right now, I just cannot imagine what's going through his head watching somebody else take the spot he thought he was supposed to have.
Yeah.
So I wonder, can he even concentrate on this match? And I think it also is going to depend on where this match falls in the card.
Right.
If this match falls before that championship match, Nick Halen's going to feel some kind of way. If it falls after the championship match and CT Keys wins, I don't know what kind of headspace Nick Halen's going to be in.
Yeah.
And so this could be the perfect time for Aaron Dallas to sweep in much like he did a couple of months ago against a veteran that had not won a match all year.
Right.
Came in, took advantage of that. This could be another great moment for Aaron Dallas to come in, take advantage, and again, continue to work his way up the ranks. So if he beats two veterans of over 20 years, we've got to start talking about Aaron Dallas in somebody's championship picture.
Whether it's Jake the Snake,
I mean,
title,
there's
or
all kinds of opportunities, I think, available for him.
Absolutely.
But this is a match to watch. And if Nick Halen's head is not in the game, it could be a very long night for Nick Halen.
Yeah, you're right. And it could just be a matter of Aaron being in the right place at the right time.
Absolutely.
And we'll find out later on tonight.
How important that is.
Looking forward to that matchup. Another big one we're excited about, a big debut here tonight. Superstar Jay Lucas making his SHW debut, highly touted all over the independent scene, and we can't wait to see him here in action. He's actually going to be taking on the working team captain, Owen Knight. The last time we saw Owen was at the anniversary show as part of Team SHW, defeating Team Action. And so we're excited to see the working team back here, but he's going to have his hands full with Jay Lucas.
Yes.
Absolutely, because you can't be part of the top team without having some kind of something about
Yep.
you, right? I mean, he's a superstar for a reason. But this is Owen Knight, okay? He is, what do you say, your baby's mama's favorite wrestler. He is the rookie and the vet.
He's war ready.
He's war ready.
Yeah.
He is.
He's Owen Knight, okay? He's one of my bad boys. He don't know it. I ain't even told him yet, but he's one of my bad boys. I love me some Owen Knight.
The faction is growing.
It is growing by leaps and bounds.
I got much love for Owen. I do. I think it's just gonna be his time to shine. It's time for him to come back home. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We hadn't had him like permanently here.
It was so great to see him at the anniversary.
It was so good.
Yeah.
It was. I need him to come home. Owen, come home.
I have a very interesting number for you both.
Uh-oh.
370.
What is that?
It's been 370 days since Owen Knight has competed in a singles match here in Southern Honor.
You and your stats, man.
Man, oh, man.
I tell you what.
370
Too
days.
long.
And so it makes you wonder, what's Owen been doing? Now, if you've been following Owen Knight, he's been all over the wrestling. He hasn't stopped wrestling.
Right.
He's been winning championships. He's been exploring new territories and the like until he brings all of that knowledge on top of being one of the most honorable Southern Honor champions, brings that to this match tonight. Now, Jay Lucas would love to follow in the footsteps of Aaron Dallas, being one of the very few who walk in here and win on their debut. It's very difficult to do here in Southern Honor, especially against a ring general like Owen Knight. So this is going to be a great, great test. But let me tell you something. Jay Lucas is a very special talent.
Yes.
He is a high flyer. He's got a long, lanky build, which makes him very, very dangerous to be able to compete against. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen. This could be that match that we're talking about in the next couple of weeks that stole the show here at SHW68.
Be a fun one.
Man, I cannot wait to see it. And I'm so excited he's finally debuting here. I mean, we've seen him in other spaces and got to call some of his action in other places. So finally getting to see him here in the Action Building, Canton, Georgia, it's going to be a good one. Yeah. And Owen Knight got his work cut out. And again, Owen Knight, he's a day one with us. We go way back to the beginning of the SHW days.
It
So
was my first match.
yeah, so nothing but love for Owen. But man, oh man, this one's going to be good. And I cannot wait.
Yes.
But and we still got 3 more big matches to talk about. Let's talk about, well, first let me take you back to the anniversary show. We had the Triple Threat Tag Team Championship match. Murder One comes out. His partner was supposed to be the Kenway.
Yes.
We see a backstage, almost like security camera footage, where it looked like he had been bloodied. There was a ladder thrown on top of him. I mean, he'd been beat to a pulp, it looked like. And then we come to find out, after being able to talk to the Kenway and Murder One doing a little searching for the evidence and seeing the blood all over the hand of Seabolt during the match. And it turned out it was the grapplers, and more specifically Xander Seabolt, that were responsible for that attack. Now, since that time, over the last couple of weeks, we were sending a video from the Kenway. And, man, he said he's going to return the favor tenfold against Seabolt here tonight. So, one-on-one, Kenway, Seabolt, it's going to be good.
These grapplers, man, there are issues. There's an issue. Okay, so they're not our champions anymore. Okay, they are not technically. They don't have the title belts anymore in their hands because I never could consider them as our champions. Where does Seabolt even come from? I mean, where did he come from?
It is interesting because we weren't sure, is he the manager?
Right.
Is it Freebird rules, where it's
Right.
like they just kind of are interchangeable, but he was one that never wore the mask. Much like Chainmail, he's with them as well, and he doesn't wear the mask, but
And-
there's like
that's a whole
27
other
guys that
story.
do wear masks.
Thank
So
you. But he's
it's-
so quiet. I mean, it just seems
Yeah.
like he's there and he's kind of a threat, but he's just quiet.
But when we've seen him in the ring in tag action or
Yeah.
whatever, he's impressive.
Yes.
There's no
Right.
pushover.
Yes.
But to just go and attack the hierarchy?
Yeah. That was your first mistake.
Yeah, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with these guys.
Yeah.
We have to take these masks off and figure it out.
But it's the
Something's
silent but
wrong.
violent treatment, though, that makes Seabolt so dangerous.
I guess
Yeah.
that's what it
Because
is.
he is unassuming. I mean, like, you look at him, and I mean, you see the masked grapplers, you hear chainmail, but you don't really hear a whole lot from Seabolt. I don't know
Yeah.
that I've ever heard him talk. And he just kind of looked. But you mentioned the Freebird, and when I see him, he resembles Terry Gordy to me.
Does.
Yeah.
He really does. He's
With
not as
Michael
tall.
P.S. Hayes'
but
hair.
yes, he totally does. But that makes him dangerous.
Yeah.
Makes him. And again, you're a different kind of cat to step to anybody in the hierarchy.
Thank you.
And
My
so
point.
to step to Kenway, you're a brave guy. You're even more brave to think that there wasn't going to be video footage anywhere, that you were just
Well,
going to attack him and
did he-
nobody's going to figure out.
Did he step to him or did he attack him?
Well, we'll never know.
Because that's just, I don't get that.
I'll say this, though. The Kenway is not a guy that I want to be around when he's angry.
Me either.
Yeah,
that part.
So I'm now. With that said, sometimes when the Kenway gets upset, that anger could blind him. And so the question will be: is he more focused on revenge tonight or winning the match?
Right.
That's going to be the real question. And for Seabolt, look out. But then again, where there's Seabolt, there's always at least
40 of them.
45,000
There's like 40.
grapplers.
There's no
It's
telling.
like
There's
anybody
no telling.
any of these fans could be grapplers.
They could be
You
grappler.
never know who's going to pop
Wait a second.
up.
I didn't even think
don't
about
know.
that.
You know?
Yeah. We don't know.
Well, now
Now you're
I
nervous.
got my head on a swivel here.
Yeah, you just never know.
It could pop up from anywhere. Anyways, all right.
little gremlins.
We talked about well after midnight. What is it like? Don't get them wet
Don't
after.
feed 'em
Don't feed them.
and don't get 'em wet.
Don't get them wet.
Are
That's
you
what it
calling
is.
the grapplers baby's kids?
I'm calling them
They don't
gremlins.
die, they multiply?
well, there's that. Yeah. There's that
There's
too. Well, we
Jeez.
talked about that big triple threat tag team title match at the anniversary show. The victors of that match, the Infantry, Carly Bravo and Sean Dean.
Yes.
Of course, they had one big successful title defense at the benefit show where they took on Jimmy Wild and Nikki 8, and they were successful there, and they're back tonight to take on the Warden and Alexander Lev. Now, what happened after that show, or the match at the benefit show, was Lev came out,
Yep.
attacked the Infantry. Warden came out because we thought they had parted ways. They had a one-on-one match
Yeah.
earlier.
They
did.
Warden came out and made the save, supposedly, and then immediately turned around and clotheslined both members of the Infantry, realigning himself with Lev. And now they're no longer faithful, but they are family.
Yeah, that's chaos.
So now they get a tag title shot. And how are we feeling about this one?
I think they're only getting the shot because they decided to attack the champions. But to me, I don't know, what is going on? What is? I'm sorry. What is going on? There's so much chaos. I don't understand. I don't get it. What is going on? Okay, Lev and Warden, they fought. Lev was blaming Warden for losing the whole gauntlet match because he wasn't there.
Hey, what is going on
What
here?
is going on? And now how did they even get back together?
Well, were they ever apart is the real question.
I don't know.
That's the real question.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. It was a stipulation that forced Lev to no longer call himself Faithful
Right.
and disband the Faithful. But who was going to monitor that was actually happening? So he may not call himself Faithful, but they can call themselves apparently. Nobody said that they could no longer team together.
He found the loophole.
They found a loophole.
Well, I guess technically they did disband and then just got back together.
Well, Warden, remember, he couldn't make it to the anniversary show.
couldn't.
Right.
And so, and actually that's what set up the singles match at the benefit
Right.
show was Lev was blaming Warden for
Right.
causing them to lose the gauntlet by
But
not
how do
being
we
there.
not know
So,
that Lev did not hatch this entire plan
whole
together?
web of
Have
lies.
you talked to him?
I don't think.
I usually steer
The last
clear.
time I tried to talk to him, he was like, "I'm Lev and I am
Faithful.
faithful."
My name is
I mean, again, he's got a diabolical mind. And, again, he convinced the warden somehow. And here's the crazy part. He might have slipped in through the back door, but he's got himself a title shot.
He does.
And here's the thing. It almost doesn't matter how you get it. It matters that you get it. And now they are literally 3 seconds away from becoming the Southern Honor Tag Team Champions. And here's what I wonder. The Infantry, we were so excited about their win.
Still are.
And I still am excited. Again, what a successful cash-in for Carly Bravo. But my concern right now is, do they have too many oars in the water? Do they have too many things going on right now? Remember, they're still contracted with AEW and Ring of Honor. They were just on Ring of Honor last night. They are traveling like crazy.
They're part of Shane Taylor Promotions now.
Part of Shane Taylor Promotions. Yeah. And so the question to me now is, do they have too many things going on? And can Lev and the Warden slip in at just the right moment and take advantage and become tag team champions?
I don't know.
It's possible, but I will tell you, if there's anybody that can handle having all the fingers in all the different pies over here, it's Carly and Sean Dean.
I agree.
So we'll see. It's going to be exciting. They get to defend it here on SHW68 against Lev and Warren.
And remember, this is new pressure for them.
Yeah.
You know, they've been chasing tag team gold their entire career. Now they're about to really discover what it's like to have people coming after you, being the chased instead of doing the chasing. We'll see tonight.
Yeah, I cannot wait.
Yes, you are. Come on.
Easy.
These are soldiers who are on a mission, and they have completed a mission and grabbed 2 titles. And this is what they do, right? This is what they do. So when they get in that ring, it doesn't matter how many irons they have in the fire. They're down to business. What's in that square circle is the mission. And that's all I'm going to say about that. They gonna retain.
Preach, Diana.
They gonna retain.
Preach.
Infantry all the way. So I just had to. I was about to.
There's
bust.
that Dublin, Georgia.
I mean, they're going to retain.
They're gonna retain.
They're going to retain.
I do declare. Sorry. Anyways.
I've never said that.
Oh, this is
before,
great.
But that's
I'm
what
like,
you
This is
should
great.
with that.
I do declare.
There it is. There it is. Perfection.
I'll put that one on the list.
Okay. And when they win, you can say, I do declare. And still.
Yes.
And still, if they watch me.
All right.
Oh, boy.
Bet.
Oh, boy.
Well, hey, you know what? That brings us to the main event. We touched on it earlier, a Canton Street fight. This thing's been brewing for a long time. Of course, at the anniversary show, Gary Lamb went one-on-one with Zach Mosley, which shocked everybody, the fact that match even took place.
Right.
Prior to that, Gunnar Miller tried to help out. He got hit in the head with a cinder block by Exotic Youth. And so the way the match ended at the anniversary, Gary using the steel chair, actually took my chair out from under me.
Did.
Cracked Zach in the head with it, which I didn't mind at all.
No.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it was not a no disqualification match. It was not a hardcore match.
Right.
And so he got disqualified for doing it right in front of the referee.
Right.
He bloodied up Zach Mosley. And later in the night, Pepperbottom comes out, calls Gary out once again. Gary says, you know what? We're going to end this once and for all. It's going to be a Canton Street fight, you two versus me and the People's Captain, Gunnar Miller. And here we are. Main event, SHW68. It's going to go down tonight, and it could go absolutely anywhere. It's a street fight, folks.
It is.
It's going to be insane.
This is the kind of match it should have been in the beginning. This is the kind of match that it should have been with Gary and Zach last month. This is going to be, I think, where Gary can feel comfortable. And he don't care about these rules. He don't care about disqualifications and countouts in the ring and what you are and are not supposed to do technically in a wrestling match, because this is what he needs to be doing. He needs to take these boys out in the yard and show them who's Godfather.
Make him pick a switch and then
Yes, pick your own
Like
switch.
Mom and Dad used to
and
do.
if it ain't a good one, I'm going to pick it myself and it's going to be worse.
And that was the worst.
Oh.
It really was.
You're giving me flashbacks
Trying
now.
to be smart.
Because you try to pick the small one thinking, oh, that won't
Right.
hurt as
That
much.
don't hurt.
And then they're like, well, fine, I'll go pick one. Oh,
My
Yeah.
little
great.
legs got
Yeah.
it, girl. Let me
You
tell
young kids probably don't know what we're talking about. But so, anyways.
Well, here's where I am concerned, though. I do agree that if there was ever a match that was in the wheelhouse of Gary Lamb, it's a street fight in Canton. Like, this is, if this is the greatest home field advantage he can ever have. And to have a very angry Gunnar Miller as his tag team partner, it seems like a can't-lose situation. However, in comma, we know how crafty Exotic Youth is. This is the same group who has found a way to sneak in. We talked about, 17,000 grapplers. Well, they were grapplers number 16, 998, and 999, and they snuck in to become tag team champions, right? This is the same exotic youth that figured out how to hit this man with a car.
I was going to say, I wasn't actually there for that show. You know why? Because they hit me with a
This is what I'm
car.
saying.
Come on.
So when you start talking about no rules, I don't know if Gary Lamb is prepared for that. Gary Lamb chased after them that night.
Yeah.
And almost got hit by a
got
car
run over
himself. So I'm concerned because, yes, Gunnar Miller is a very, very difficult hill to climb. But it's not a handicap match. And I don't know that it's going to be a scenario where Gunnar will have both guys at the same time. So I'm not sure. And again, what in the world does Exotic Youth have up their sleeve? They did not enter this match without a plan. They always have a plan. And whether we like them or not, they are the most shrewd tag team in this business. So who knows what will happen tonight. But I do know that Pepperbottom and Mosley are ready for this match. Here's the thing. If they can figure out how to neutralize Gunnar Miller, Gary Lamb's in trouble. Because Gary Lamb talks real big. But Gary Lamb is not only not a trained fighter, but he doesn't really fight a whole lot. He might get you with one good shot.
Yeah.
But these guys fight for a living. So we'll see what happens.
All I can say is I hope by the end of the night, the Exotic Youth problem will be done once and for all here in Southern Honor Wrestling.
How does it end, though?
One can only hope. We'll find out later tonight. I don't know, but
Shall
you know
we
what?
pull out the casket?
I don't know, because these two factions, these two elements are going to battle until they can't anymore.
Yeah, we've got just under 30 minutes before bell time. Of course, great crowd has been filing in all throughout the pre-show here. DJ Turn Up, shout out on the ones and twos.
Eddie Murphy,
yes.
y'all
There you
about
go.
lost it just then.
Yes.
I love that song.
If you're
great
not
song.
doing anything right now, what are you waiting for? Get down here. If you're thinking, what can I do on a Friday night? That's a fun night for the whole family. You can come to the Action Building, 261 Marietta Road, Canton, Georgia. Tickets available at the door. Kids 10 and under are free. We cannot wait to see you. 7 big matches, 3 title matches, and 1 chaotic main event, a Canton street fight. But that's going to wrap us up. And for Diana Michelle, for GB Gerard Bonner. And wait 1 second.
Wait a minute.
2 more things to mention.
2
Let's
more.
go.
Thing number 1.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Tony Schiavone.
Happy
Absolutely.
birthday,
We love
Tony
you, guy.
Schiavone.
We are appreciative
Mwah.
for you.
I love you.
Thing number 2, after you watch our show tonight, go to Amazon Prime, go to Apple TV Plus, go to YouTube, Vimeo, and all the streaming platforms and check out a movie called The Unbreakable Bunch. It's got a lot of your favorite wrestlers from the WCW days. Glacier, you'll see King Haku, Stan Hansen, several others.
The Cat.
The Cat, Ernest the Cat Miller, the 3-time Karate World Champion. But you'll also hear the dulcet tones of your favorite commentary team.
That's
we are
right.
in the movie. You will hear us, and so make sure you are supporting that as well. Again, after you come to the show tonight, make sure you're supporting that.
There's your plans for the weekend.
There you go.
Absolutely. It's a family-friendly
It's a
movie.
party.
You're
It
going to
is.
love it. It's aliens versus wrestlers. How can you not love that?
Dude.
It's absolutely
I'm
incredible.
sold.
Incredible.
Well, it's Tag Team Music is back again.
Yes.
That's me, B-Double. And this is GB Gerard Bonner, and that's a lovely Diana Michelle. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, here it is. SHW68. You guys.
Back again.
Until we see you down here, this has been.
SHW.
And this is our wrestling.
Yes,
Oh,
it is.
yeah. See you guys soon.
And still here's 6. We saw new champions crowned, legacies continue, and a destiny conquered. But it leaves the question, what's next?
Yo, you about to witness greatness in the making.
Tonight, after being swerved by the no longer faithful one, Alexander Lev and the Warden, the infantry goes to war to defend their SHW Tag Team Championships. The Kenway seeks revenge after a brutal backstage attack by the Grapplers.
What goes around comes around. So for every bit of pain that you gave me, I'm gonna give you back tenfold.
After defeating his endgame brother Nick Halen, we'll see the power of CT Keys versus the technically sound Jake the Snake Legacy Champion Kyle Matthews.
Said I'm ready for more. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. I'm gonna make it. You know that I'm gonna make it.
Joe Black. He's got to get him in.
And he's got him in there. He did it! Joe Black! Joe Black!
Since defeating the longest reigning Southern Honor champion in history, Joe Black looks to create his own story as he faces Jackson Drake.
I know for a fact that your attention was on me, and you see someone that makes you question whether or not you're still good enough to keep up.
You can't stop me, no, you can't stop me. I'm gonna make it. I know that I'm gonna make it.
And in our main event, it's been years in the making, and it's finally reached a boiling point. Exotic Youth will face Gunnar Miller and SHW General Manager Gary Lamb in a Canton street fight. All this and so much more. Join us tonight at the Action Building in Canton, Georgia, as we kick off Year 7 with SHW68.